Okay, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Deji Yesufu. I'm actually at the mechanic workshop. I came to fix something on the tires of my car, and I'm waiting out for my mechanic to join me. And so I just want to use this few moments to make this video, as I realize that most of the time I find it easier to share my thoughts through writing. But these days, it's becoming even much more easier to do it through videos like this. Okay, so and then again, I use the videos to share not just thoughts on. I use my videos to share developing thoughts, things that I am thinking through and working on, and I hope that you will get something out of this. In the past few days, I have been having some very interesting interaction with my writing. I've written quite a number of articles, but the one that actually stands out for me and that got some serious reactions, in fact, such reactions that could lead, or that is leading, or might lead to the end of my relationship with a number of people I care for, was this writing, or this article that I did on women. I wrote something about, trying to remember the topic of this thing now. Okay, yes, I was reacting to a meme. There was a meme that somebody shared, and this person said that in fact, the person was saying, he said, you can be the doctor that your parents trained you to marry, So when the person put out this meme, I took up the meme and I actually wrote a response to it. And the response that I wrote, I was saying in essence that while in one hand there was nothing wrong with women becoming doctors, I have a daughter myself. If she wants to be a medical doctor, I'm going to encourage her all the way. I shared in that article, I said that there was a higher calling for women. Okay, and I said, first of all, what was even informing that thought was my worldview, which is my Christian worldview, a biblical worldview, okay, which says that women, God's calling for women, number one, is to bear children, is to have children, okay, to give birth to children. That's God's first calling for women, okay. And then following that, God's second calling for women is to raise those children up as godly seeds, okay. And of course, I put out the article, and unfortunately, the person who I got this meme from, I have responded to me via email, and a relationship that has been built over, let me say, 3, 4, 5 years, yeah, I can practically tell you that it has come to an end because of that article that I wrote, and I told her that I actually don't have an apology for her for writing that article, and I still don't have an apology. It's my position. But I want to shed some light on that thought, not necessarily on the article. I'm done with that. I just want to shed some light on the whole thought of something that I came across very recently. I've been hearing it, I've been hearing it from some people that I listen to. For those of you who know me very well, I am a Reformed Christian, so I listen to somebody like Dr. James White very well, and James White talks a lot about this thing called woke Christianity, W-O-K-E, woke Christianity, and I looked briefly at the concept on the internet yesterday, and I also shared a post on the internet. I asked Christians, I said, please, what do you people know, or what do you think about this concept of a woke Christianity, and I'm thankful to those who responded, because all of them actually went on to confirm what I have had in my mind. Okay, so this is not a strict definition, but I'll just say it offhand. Okay, let me use it as a street revelation. Okay, a street, definition. So, what Christianity is? Christianity is a kind of a new kind of Christianity. It's a Christianity that is adaptable to the culture. A Christianity that is adaptable to the culture. One of the things that we must realize is that while Christians are in the world, we're not of the world. One of the things that our Lord calls us to do over and over again is to separate ourselves from the culture. Okay, so why do we have to separate ourselves from the culture? Because the culture is defined by human reasoning. The culture is defined by what people think is right and wrong. Okay, but Christianity or the church or Christians are defined by what the Bible teaches. Okay, so what Christianity is this? The what Christianity on one hand they claim to be Christians on one hand, but on the other hand, they are open to cultural changes. They are open to what they call it, to what the world considers as the right thing. Okay, so that's what woke Christianity is. Now, what's the connection between what I'm saying, or what I'm discussing about in this woke Christianity and that article that I wrote? It is this. You see, the Christian church is built upon individuals. First of all, a church consists of Christian individuals that have met the person of the Lord Jesus Christ, people who are converted, people who are possessed of the Holy Spirit, people who regard the Bible as final authority. They regard the Bible as the Word of God, as inerrant, as sufficient, and so on. Okay, that's what the church is consist of. Then the church is also consist of families. Okay, not just one person. Yeah, the church is, you could look at the church as a collection of individuals, but the church is also a collection of families. Okay, so the church is a gathering of different families. So you have the father, the mother, the children coming to church, and then various families making up a local assembly. Okay, this is very, very important. But so because the church consists of families, one of the things that is very important to church life is how we'll deal with this matter of the family. Okay, how we deal with the matter of the family. First of all, in the church, in the family, or in a Christian family that goes to a local church, a Christian church, or not all the silly gatherings that we have all around, especially the ones we have in Nigeria. A true church that I'm talking about. A family will have a godly father that is leading the family. Okay, a godly father that is leading the family. The second thing that a family will have is that they will have a father that provides for the family. It means that the man has to go out of the house every day, make money, and provide for his wife and children. Okay, that's what a Christian family does. All right. The second thing that you have in a family is that you have a mother who helps the husband out. Okay, unfortunately, in our time, we have reduced helpmeet to the woman just giving money to the man and helping out with financial issues in the house. But that is not what God has as help. Help really means is that the woman is assisting the man to do a lot of things that he cannot do in the house when he's not there. So while the man leaves the house to provide for his family, the woman stays at home, okay, to take care of the children. This is assuming that this family have given birth to children, okay, and these children are being raised in the Lord. One of the things that Christian families, especially in the West, have discovered is that Christian families cannot leave the matter of child discipleship or the training of the children to the community, to the state, to the country. Okay, so what is happening, especially in Christian churches and Christian family in the West, is that many families are adopting this thing they call homeschooling. Okay, so people who are interested, Christians who really understand the nature of the family and the vital place of the family is planting a family on godliness, would actually have the man go to work while the woman stays at home and trains the children, many times homeschooling the children. Okay, there are cases even in this homeschool system that it's not just one wife that teaches the children. You even have a connection of women, okay, all of them from a local assembly, who come together to train the children. Now, why is this thing very, very important? It's because of the psychology of a child. Okay, look, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not saying comments now because I've removed the comments so that I can concentrate on my broadcast. When I'm done, I will return the comment and see what you have written, then answer them. Now, a child, by the time a child is 14, that child is developed. There's practically nothing you can put into that child anymore. There is a statistic I saw recently that says that 80% of people who become Christians, who become converted individuals in life, come to know the Lord before the age of 21. 80%. What that means is that the very minute a person is above 21 and above, the possibility of that person going to hell is 80%. Okay, so families who are serious about raising a godly generation, a solid family unit, and raising a godly generation, children who will go on to have families of themselves and build their families around a solid local church. Such families are taking seriously this matter of training children. Okay, so what happens is that you commit these children to a homeschool system between the age of 0, the minute they are born, till 14, 15, 16. Okay, you commit time to training these children. Okay, then by the time the child is 17, 18, the child may go on to a tertiary institution where the mothers might not be able to train them anymore. But by this time, the psychology of the child has been built, but it has been built around what? A Christian foundation. It has been built around a Christian mindset. And the people who are fundamental in doing this are what? They are our women. They are the women. Okay? So that is the reason why a woke Christianity, a Christianity that is open to the culture, that does not see that there is an advantage in training children, in having women stay at home to train those children so that they may have godly seeds, they can understand this psychology. Okay? Rather, they are more interested in let our children go to school so that the woman can go out, make her money, and forgive my saying this, with all due respect to a lot of women who don't do this, but there are other women who do it. They make money just to compete with their husbands. Okay, so that is that. When I was seeking to talk about, when I was talking about the woman staying at home and taking care of the children, I was looking at this matter of building a solid Christian family, godly families. I wasn't talking about the fact that our women should be should not realize their dreams. I wasn't talking about the fact that women should be put under. No, I was talking about raising a solid generation, a second solid generation. Now let us look at a practical thing. Now, if by the mercies of God, a woman is raised up, trained, and she finishes university. Let me use Nigeria as an example. If that lady goes into the university at the age of 16, 17, 18, she can be done with a 4-year course or even 5 or 6-year medical school by the time she's 22 or at most 24. Okay? If between 24 and 25, this woman is married, let's say that her husband and herself decide to have 3 children, and they are going to space those children out by 2 years. So they're looking at a space of 5 years and 6 years to have their children. Do you know that a medical doctor lady who finishes medicine at the age of 24 can actually commit 16 years of her life to homeschooling her children, bringing them up in a solid home environment, that by the time the last born is in secondary school, maybe GSS1, GSS2, she can actually return, this lady can actually return to medical school. She can go on to start her residency at the age of 40. And she can be done with residency in 4 to 6 years. So let's say 44, 45, 46. She can be done with her residency. She would have achieved two things. Number one, she would have given her children a solid foundation in the Christian upbringing. That's number two. Then she will return back to her, what do they call it, to her professional life and continue as a medical doctor while the children are maybe 14, 15, 16 in their junior secondary school. Okay, this is just a hypothesis, but I am saying, and you see, there's something about God. In those days, we used to have missionaries. We used to have people who would say, okay, they will commit 10 years of their life to mission works in Africa. They will come all the way from Britain or England and commit 10 years of their life to mission works in Africa. Some 1, some 2. Now, if a woman decides to commit, let's say she commits, I'm trying to see if this light doesn't, I just hope that you're able to see what I'm doing. But if a woman commits 15 years of 16 years of her life to training up godly seeds, ladies and gentlemen, and then returning back to professional life, ladies and gentlemen, do you know the far-reaching effect that thing would have on a child? I know of a lady who unfortunately had a child that was challenged when the child was born. Okay, and this lady gave up nursing. She gave up nursing for a space of about 10 years just to take care of this child. Her husband was working. She was just taking care of the child and the other children who were born normal. Do you know that after that boy had grown up and was, he's still challenged, but when he was older, he was able to do a lot of things for himself. After that boy had grown up, do you know that this woman returned back to nursing? And it was as if the number of years she committed to raising that child was not lost, because she still more or less met up with her mate in the system. So, what is the better mission field to commit one's time and life to than one's own family? Okay? So, ladies and gentlemen, I want us to be very careful. There is that thing called woke Christianity in our world today. We have the world competing with the church. Look at this matter of coronavirus. Everybody has been talking, we have heard from the World Health Organization, we have heard from government organizations, but nobody is listening to what the church is saying. Nobody is listening to what theologians are saying. Why? Probably because in one hand, many Christian ministers have even lost their testimony before the world. Okay? But in the other hand, it's simply because the world does not think that the church has anything to add to societal development. But it wasn't like this in the 19th, 18th, or 17th century. What the church has to say, what Christian ministers have to say, was very, very important. In the days of Luther, all his kings, all the magistrates in his city, they waited for what he had to say before they carried out policy. Whatever Luther said was what they built their policy around it. Go to Geneva, Switzerland of the days of John Calvin. Everything the policy makers of Geneva of those days were doing was built around whatever Calvin taught on Sunday. Okay, but today the church is more or less like a toothless bulldog. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is this: look, we can't have it two ways. It's either we follow the Lord or follow the world. We cannot be Christians and we allow the world to dictate to how Christians ought to live. Okay, so I stand by the word of my article. I still believe that the the best thing that a woman can do in a family unit is to commit her life to raising her children, and I am still positive that if a woman marries early, okay, she will still be able to commit considerable time to raising her children and then returning to professional life. And that personally, I was telling somebody in a chat on WhatsApp that I'm going to use my daughter as a guinea pig in this matter. I'm raising her up primarily to be a homemaker. Primarily, she's going to get the best education. She's going to go to the best university, both home and abroad. But when she has gotten all the degrees and everything, she's primarily, first of all, going to be a homemaker, going to bear children and going to nurture those children. And I'm trusting God that if my child marries, let's say, between 22 and 24, she can be done with this whole matter of homemaking between 35 and 40. Her children will be old enough to take care of themselves, and she can return back to professional life between 35 and 40. This way she would have invested into those children godliness. And do you know how long human beings live? Her children are going to live, if they are brought up in the way of the Lord and taught properly, these children could live as old as 80, 85, 90. And they will owe their foundation to who? To their mother's sacrifice. So that's my argument. Let's be careful about this woke Christianity. In fact, I just looked at the dimension of woke Christianity and how it affects family life. There are many other ways it is affecting the Christian church. In fact, we have not even started talking about prosperity preaching is far-flung. There are many other ways. In fact, I can't even engender or list out anything now. Let's just say for this broadcast, I am concerned about how family life is being built in the churches. And when I speak like this, I am not speaking to the world. I'm not speaking to people who do not believe in Jesus Christ. I'm speaking to Christians. People who are not Christians, I don't expect them to get my point. But I become upset when Christians begin to argue and say, the woman is not this. Psalm 31, Proverb 31 woman was a woman who was taking care of her home. It was after she had done the business of taking care of her children and her husband that she was able to find time to go out and make business. And the thing is this. There are many women who, if they stay in the house after taking care of their children and their husband, that 15-year period I'm talking about in the early marriage, if they do it very well, do you know that there are many women that are able to build businesses out of that endeavors? Many of them don't even need to return to a professional life. Right there in their home, they are able to build solid businesses. And I have examples. I know many women who are doing it, such that eventually when the man retires from wherever he's going to serve, maybe as a civil servant, he returns back to what the woman has been doing. And that becomes their family business, their source of living, So let's be careful. Let's consider this thought. And again, I'm speaking probably to the people who, because it was very interesting, that article. There was one night I had 3 ladies I was debating on WhatsApp at the same time. 3 I was debating. No, women are not supposed to just sit down in the house. Nobody is saying women should stay down in the house. We're saying that family life is very important. We're saying that time committed to raising children is a time that would always be beneficial. And if we call ourselves Christians and we know of missionaries using up all of their lives to serve Christ and serve communities, what is wrong with committing between 10 to even 20 years to giving your children a solid base in the gospel and in the Christian life? Okay, let me end with this story. I am a theologian that draws a lot of my example, not from contemporary Christianity, but from what has happened in the past. John Wesley's mother had, I believe, 16 to 19 children. All of them turned out solid. Why? She committed her life to raising those children. Okay, C.H. Spurgeon. C.H. Spurgeon's wife was bedridden most of their marriage life. Okay, but they had these twin boys. Those were their children. I think they had some other children, but they had these twin boys, and those twin boys owe their salvation to their mother's teaching. Their salvation, they owe it to their mother, not even to their what they call popular father's teaching. It was to their mother. You know, they owe their salvation to their mother's teaching. You understand? And so on. With all my reformed theology and everything, when my children want to pray, they pray like their mother. They everything, they imitate their mother, not me. You know, so women have such strong influences on children. And if we really want to give our children a solid future, our women must begin to consider this matter of remaining at home and taking care of the children. For many other women, it is too late. If you're already in your 30s, 40s, forget it. I am talking about women who are just getting married, not people who have already spent years in marriage, or people who are looking for, I'm looking at the future. Okay, and I'm begging that let us not allow woke Christianity to influence our lives. I want to thank those who have joined the discussion. Emmanuel Bafo, I think he's from Ghana, says, God bless you, sir. Okay, somebody sent a wave, and some other people are watching. Thank you. I think I'm done here. God bless you. I'm going to be taking this video later in the day and put it on my YouTube. I hope you get to watch it there. And I really appreciate that you shared. Today is what? Tuesday. I think it's 9th or something. 8th. I can't remember. All right. God bless you. Thank you for joining my broadcast. And bye-bye. Share the video. Okay? Bye-bye.